Yeah, Grandad's workshop. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Right.
The
What's it called?
Hamilton
Steam and Steel.
Yeah, Steam and
It's
Steel,
a challenge.
as they call it. That was a challenge at the New Zealand Convention, which was being held in Hamilton.
So it's all model engineering clubs in New Zealand, isn't
Model
it?
engineering clubs.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's 10 or 12.
Okay.
Clubs.
And it gets people thinking about things, and I suppose you got shoulder tap, did you?
Yes.
All right. Yes. So what creation did you come up with?
Well, I came up with this creation. Now, I've never ever built a rail vehicle before.
All right.
It was all new to me, and I had to sit down and do some thinking about it. Now, there is rules on here of...
no push starting?
Mm-hmm.
Must be self-starting. If
This
the boiler
is the
lid to
instructions for building.
Right. A rail vehicle, 3.5 inch gauge track, boiler to be powered by tea-light candles. Oh, yeah, okay. Boy, oh boy, it would have taken a fair bit of working out just before you even started anything, wouldn't it?
Yes, where to start from.
Right.
I just sorted out various parameters. Now it had to be preferably as light as possible in weight, because not a lot of power is generated, because the boiler is a milo can.
A milo can.
Milo can
Okay.
with a push-on lid. Now
Right.
That lid cannot be fastened. If the pressure exceeds what it takes to blow the lid off, it is disqualified.
Oh no! All right. Okay.
The heating is from tea light candles.
That's these little tiny candles here, isn't it? Okay.
Yes. And I wanted the biggest heating area because they don't generate a lot of heat.
Right. So 6 of those in there.
They're all lit and carefully slid in there.
And then you've got your boiler.
The boiler is a can.
There's the can.
Which has a very sensitive relief valve. With a lot of experimenting, that is adjusted so that it will release the pressure at just below the point that it blows the lid off, which is about 11, 12 pounds per square inch.
Okay.
Now, I tried quite a number of cans. I had a lot of them given to me, and I got the can with the tightest fitting lid.
Okay.
We had to put these fittings. I've got an on-off valve here, so that it can build up pressure, and then open the valve. Now the steam pressure that's generated turns this little turbine wheel.
Keepers, okay. Yeah.
And that is the power which drives it along.
All right.
Under the rules, it had to be transmitted to the wheels by gears and belts.
Right, so
I've got some clockwork gears in here.
Yeah.
And I have the small belt drive to the axle.
Right.
Now everything is on ball races. Little miniature ball bearing races.
They
in
just float. Right.
This aluminium section was obtained by a company who makes aluminium doors and windows. So I went and scratched through their how to put it, the rubbish bin as it were. Found that. I had to make all the axles. The gears, I've got quite a number of clockwork gears.
The wheels would have been made too, wouldn't they?
No, I didn't have to make the wheels. The wheels on here, the track wheels, yes.
Right.
And the belt drive wheels, which I made those, and the belt is just a rubber O-ring.
Right.
It's pushed along, a little turning. It's got very little
friction
in
yeah.
there. You have to eliminate as much as possible.
And it goes by itself.
Yeah.
And did he win?
No. It's fairly well screened all around here to prevent draft.
Right.
I did quite a lot of experimenting here, and I actually had it driving along the concrete yard.
Outside, yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
it would drive along there, so I thought it would run on tracks without any problem.
Right.
But I had one letdown. The evening that the challenge was to be held
Right.
was a bit windy.
Oh,
I didn't have a wind shield covering
for the bag.
rear, and it kept blowing the tea light candles. And I think there was, I think about 6 entries altogether.
Yeah.
And the entry that won the competition had a vertical boiler, which was shielded all around the outside.
To give it a bit of protection and
Protection from the breeze. And apparently it only covered a few metres.
and then conked out,
But it went to like greatest distance. Anyway, next morning, one of our club members was there, brought us just down to the track. It was very still.
right.
And
Fired it up.
Fired it up, and away it went. And I think it went about 200 metres before they picked it up off the track. So
Jeepers, okay.
it went well.
Yeah. So at that time of the test, if it hadn't been for that little bit of wind in the draft, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have to be with water. It has 100 millilitres of water. That is the
100
amount
mil,
I think was in here. And these little tea light candles, the wicks are lit.
Right.
I've actually shortened these slightly, modified them a little bit.
And then slide them in there.
Carefully slide in.
That would generate quite a bit of heat, really, too, wouldn't it?
It does. All
Yeah.
The more heat you can get in there, the better.
Right.
The more steam that can be generated.
Right.
Because if you have to keep the pressure low, you need volume.
Okay.
And with a lot of experimenting and research, I built this shape of turbine wheel,
Right.
and I've got the best angle and size of the jet. All that takes a lot of experimenting.
Right. That's on that flywheel there.
No, that's actually a turbine wheel.
A turbine wheel.
Yeah.
But that little jet is what pumps it around.
Yeah.
Pushes it around.
It's
Yeah.
the pressure of the steam hitting that,
Yeah.
and it actually comes off in a divergent angle,
Yeah.
but it drives that wheel around quite fast when it's everything's working right.
They're like little Colton wheels, but just a bit refined, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said after about 2 months of experimenting and work, it's quite a bit of work went on it.
Right.
Quite a few modifications went on
Yeah.
during
That's really,
building.
really cool, isn't it? And does this competition happen every year?
every 2 years.
Every 2 years. Ah.
And the competition, that was 2020. Well, there's a competition coming up next January, which is in Christchurch,
Right.
and whatever it is that has to be built is to be done on the site. They supply the materials and the tools,
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
and it's got to be built on the site.
Well, that'll make it a bit more difficult, won't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but
So-
it's the same for everybody.
Right.
You've got to be able to think outside the square
Yeah. Yeah.
doing these things, and be
I'm
able
sure.
to do
Yeah.
it reasonably quickly.
Credible stuff. Yeah. No, really impressed. Yeah. Now, someone on your water pump, someone on that movie, commented that they'd like to see it when it was completed, but
Well, it's work in progress. I have all the machining is done,
Okay.
and I assembled it as I went because the plan I had was fairly vague, and there's quite a few mistakes in it,
Right.
and I've had to remake some parts.
Yeah.
Uh,
But it's all coming together, and
and it came together because last Thursday evening at our model club we had what they call a show and tell
all right.
on to see what's been made. And as the fair have been asking me what I've been up to, and I said, oh well, I'll show you at the meeting. So I took that along on
Right.
Thursday.
And everybody was really chuffed, and yeah.
Yeah, it did appeal to quite a number. But a few possibly because it wasn't steam.
Right. So there's a lot of steam and a lot of trains and all these
Yeah,
things.
most of the club members are steam enthusiasts.
Right. Right.
I'm one of two or three that build different things.
Something out of the
But to say
order.
this is the only steam-powered vehicle I've ever built.
Right. Okay, well that's really cool. Thank you very much. That's really appreciated. Yeah, love it. Yeah. So there we go for a last look at a steam-powered Milo jar. Can. All right. Okay. Yes. Good.